part two with Big Rhino, my friend from many years. How you doing, Rhino?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, Mitch?
Good. I hope you enjoyed your playoff games or whatever.
Well, the Niners, yeah, they did well. Yep. So we'll see next week. Yeah.
So I think we left off with you working in the carpenter shop and all that kind of stuff over there at CMF.
Yeah.
So you went there for a Category T program, which is that's like psychotherapy.
Yeah.
Lifers get like evaluated and all that kind of stuff.
Right. That's what I did. And, at first, I really didn't take it seriously,
Yeah.
But see, let me explain this to the audience that going to Vacaville after leaving Tracy was just like going to Disneyland,
Yeah.
And I say that in a way that it was just the tension was gone,
Yeah.
People were there either for medical reasons, like me, for the therapy, or they were bedridden, needed hospital attention. So it was really a strange transformation, going there.
Yeah.
And I still had a lot of I don't know, thought I was a tough guy or something, and still had a lot of that in me. So I almost got thrown out of there early on.
It was kind of like a vacation from hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're still in hell, but you just, they turn the temperature down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was fortunate that because they threw me out of one therapy group, and my last chance, I went and seen another doctor, and she said, "Well, I'll let you in my group,"
Right.
So at that point, I took it kind of seriously because I didn't want to go back to where I've been.
Right.
And that was going to be the end result. And I don't know, it was a strange trip there,
Yeah. Because it was kind of a neutral prison. They had it was sectioned off. Each quarter sectioned off. They had lifers on one corridor, nuts on one, medical on another one. It was quite an unusual place, but it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked the hobby program there. It was excellent. Had a huge yard, a lot of baseball, softball, hardball, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
You're a big baseball star,
I was always involved in
hitter.
I was always involved in all that stuff, the softball stuff.
Sure, you're a home run hitter, left-hander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. But
so, in that kind of prison, you had a lot of freedom. The doors were open. You could run around quite a bit. For me, I took milling cabinet there and all that kind of stuff. But even though it was kind of mellow, there was still some violence there. There wasn't a lot of fighting and rioting and stuff, but there was a few murders when we were there.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Yeah,
there was a couple, but they were always like, it wasn't racial. It was kept, personal. Guys had done wrong, because that's what happened. Is that a lot of people from a lot of different prisons went there. You know what I mean? Still carrying chips on their shoulder, still carrying hatred in their heart.
Yeah, and addiction problems and everything else.
Exactly. I kind of mentioned that, that I was involved in the drugs and the gambling and whatnot, and it took me many years to get out of that.
Right. Yeah, I spoke the other day about when Eddie Earl got killed there. I didn't give a lot of specifics, but
that was pretty sad. But
yeah.
If you play, you pay. That's kind of what they say.
Yeah. I mean, they about cut his head off, right?
Right, they did. And the one thing is, I always thought he was a good guy. He just had a drug addiction problem. And
a lot of guys liked him. I didn't really like him or whatever. I mean, I didn't fuck with him because he was kind of shady,
But he was shady. He was shady in a way that was kind of funny because he fought anyone that you know, that me and you might have considered a tough guy. You know what I mean?
You would fight. You would fight.
He burned them all. You know, he burned all the tough guys. He wasn't like he was looking for some weak guy to burn.
Yeah.
You know, he was a drug addict and wanted drugs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Eddie Earl would burn people, and you know, if they were stupid enough to give him credit, and he'd tell them they were burnt, and you fight with them and shit. But
yeah, exactly.
in the end, it caught up with him, and it cost him his life.
Yeah, it did.
You know?
And that, you know, and that's how you know, we seen Lucky. Lucky got it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that happened right down the tier from me.
Yeah.
You're in that building too, weren't you?
Yeah, right in front of my door, but I wasn't home.
Yeah, we were locked down for about 6 weeks on that, man.
Yeah.
Lucky, and then Mo got stabbed. Yeah.
Right there.
Matter of fact, me and my cellie Dennis, who's passed away, I think we just hit like a substantial amount of crank at the time.
Yeah, just had a
like
good time, huh?
Yeah, we spent the whole lockdown awake, you know. We didn't sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, and that's pretty much who we met through Dennis, you know.
Yeah.
Me and you met through him.
So I should probably tell people, like, you know, how we met and stuff was right there, right?
Right then about that time.
Yeah.
You know? Well, actually, you know, we hadn't really even been introduced, and I seen you sock that guy in the face. Right. And he flew back and hit the window. And
yeah.
You remember
he
that
was
one?
going in the dorm stealing.
Yeah.
And there was I think there was a 16-man dorm. There was 12 whites and 4 blacks, and the black dude was missing an ounce of weed, bunch of cigarettes, and this dude had been going back there seeing somebody, and I told him, hey, stay the fuck out of the dorm or I'm gonna kill you. And I came in from the yard one day, and there he was leaving as I was coming in, and I told him, hey, motherfucker, I told you to stay out of the dorm, and I popped him. Yeah, he flew across the hallway and busted a window out with his head.
Yeah.
He was standing there. He was on his feet, knocked out, and I said, you hear me, motherfucker? And he came to it, took off running.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, show everyone your hands, bro. Show them how big they are, man.
You know. But
yeah.
You know, I told some people, man, you know, when I left San Quentin, I just decided I was going to start lifting weights and get as strong as I could, because I didn't really want to stab people. You know, if I had a problem with someone, I just want to beat their fucking ass and teach them a lesson, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, all the stabbing and killing shit, I really, you know, I'm not with it, you know? Unless it's, you know, unless somebody's really a threat to my existence, you know, good ass whooping's all I need, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, in Vacaville, man, a guy kind of can come to his senses, and you know, you worked in the carpenter shop for quite a while there, and yeah, I left there in '88. Where'd you go from there?
Oh, well, I went to I went to board. You know, I continued to go to board.
Right.
I ended up doing like 9 years there.
Yeah.
And,
permanent work crew.
Yeah, permanent work crew. In '87, they asked me at the board. They shot me down again, of course.
Yeah.
I went to board 16 times.
Right.
And then the 17th time, I got a date.
Right.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So what happened is they wanted me to go now because I did the therapy, the CAT T.
Right.
Now we want you to go down to CMC.
Right.
You know, and do a CAT X.
Yeah.
So, and you know, they said, you know, because we're thinking about letting you out. You're doing really well. We like all you're doing. So I went down there and did that.
That's a 90-day observation.
Exactly. I went down there for a 90-day observation. Some more group. You meet in a circle once a week for an hour, and you know, with the same guys, and then you become on your week. You're in the hot seat. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, they pretty much got your file right there. They know everything you've done, so you can't really lie about it. You know, and they want to hear from you.
Right.
So I did that, and well, my report wasn't all that good, but it was decent, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're only there it's a 90-day op, so I was only there like 6 months.
Yeah, I didn't like that program very well. I got a terrible report, and what I didn't like about it is they had a CC3, which is a correctional counselor 3, which is a top thing. It's like the equivalent of a captain running the program and chiming in on your evaluation.
Well, they had even the tier officer writing reports on you.
Right.
You know what you do in the day. They search your cell, what it looks like, who you are. You know what I mean? They just want to see what you got going.
Yeah.
And I went back from that, and got denied again.
Right.
There was nothing but denials in my life, while I was in, and
yeah.
And I continue to. So at that point, I get back at 89. Now I can't go back to the permanent. I can't go back to my job because they've taken away the custody of lifers going out the gate, and only a few guys going out the gate. You got to be,
Yeah,
special.
because the CAD-X program was you go as a CAD-X and return.
Right.
So you return to the prison you came from, but you couldn't go back to CMF because they basically kicked most of the lifers out of there at the time.
Right. And then once again, because I'm doing my dance, I'm trying to stay because where am I going to go? I'm going to go Tracy. I'm going to go to Quentin. I'm going to go to Folsom.
Right.
And I was lucky. I got my carpenter skills, and they're doing hospital renovation. They're trying to get accredited. They lost their license, so they had to come in and fix everything.
Right.
So I got on IDL crew, which is inmate day labor, and you work with outside union guys, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, welders.
Right.
And I forget what they call them, like the second in command to the warden. It was Diaz. I forget his name. It's like the program administrator, but even higher than him.
Associate wardens.
Yeah, associate warden, exactly.
Yeah.
And he says, "I tell you what, youngster." At that time, I was still young. He says, "You go work here, and for IDL, and I promise you, when the job's done, I'll let you go back to the carpenter shop."
Right.
And I did that job, and I was fortunate. Went back to the carpenter shop, but I still had demons that I was fighting. You know what I mean? With my gambling, with my drug addiction,
Right.
At the time, I was still more into making money than I was in. I was doing drugs, but I was still a hustler. Making money, prison money. And I got drummed out of there because of that. People got jealous. I was running the card game. I'm running the
football tickets.
Football tickets. I got a store. And now they just got tired of me. And I thought I was too cool. You can't get me. And they come and got me. They didn't really have much evidence, but they knew, and they just said, "You're done. You're leaving here."
So what people don't understand is, in prison, when you start doing stuff like, selling tobacco now because tobacco's illegal, or gambling, running, people tell on you.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a hardcore prison where all these tough guys are and all that shit, someone's going to tell on you.
Yeah, because everyone in there, not everyone, but a lot of people try to get out of their own stuff by telling on someone else.
Right.
And and you may think that everyone there, I don't know.
You think everyone's solid, but most of them aren't.
No, because
even the guys that are hard as a rock and twice as solid, a lot of them are telling,
Yeah, when the chips are down, it's you or them,
Right.
So it took me a long time to figure that out,
Well, you got in trouble there for all that stuff, didn't they boot you out of there or what?
They booted me out of there.
Because I ran into you again over Tracy. Right?
Yeah. And you got in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, you got in trouble.
Yeah.
And once again, I go back to PIA. I'm at PIA in the furniture factory.
Right.
Oh.
We worked there together for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
The saw crew.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw that guy cut his hand off, huh? His finger, 2 fingers.
Oh, my coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, you know.
No, that's sad.
They got these jobs in PIA. You know, we worked in a wood factory, and I worked with you guys on the saw crew for a while at night, in the daytime. Then I went to a night shift, and I ran the shaper. Like you and I both got woodworking skills. We know what the fuck we're doing. And they put this guy on the crew with me, and all we were doing student desks.
Yeah.
And the seat backs are curved like that, so you got a cutter head that's like 6 inches high and, you know, 3 inches, 4 inches in diameter. And I'm, you know, this guy would just screw the blanks onto the jig, and I'd shape them. And we had about an hour left to work. You know, I'm back there having a smoke break, and I hear the machine fire up. And I'm like, what are you doing? He says, I'm going to finish these last ones. And I says, yeah, okay, go ahead. You know, and I heard you know,
yeah.
And I looked over there, the guy turned around, he's holding his hand like this, his face is white as a ghost, just squirting blood out, you know. But, you know, he yanked his hand into that cutter head, man, and it sprayed us with blood and bone chips and shit, you know. And yeah, it actually grabbed the bone in his thumb and pulled it all the way out, all the way down to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We found pieces of him when we went in the next morning.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, Booger was like, what the fuck, man? We got bone chips in the coffee pot, you know?
That's something you would say too.
Excuse me. God, you had to be there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's gnarly, but you know, they didn't care about us anyway. You know what I mean?
But you know, having that job, man, you know, was a routine. It gave you some money. It was cool, man. And they get a little camaraderie with your coworkers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like old Bob Beeler, rest in peace, right?
Another one, yeah. Didn't make it out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Bob was an original character, man.
Yeah, he was.
You know, he told me, Smiley, I'm a gambler, a hitman, and a pimp. And you know, he wasn't kidding, you know. He wasn't kidding, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know, Bob was quite a guy, man.
Yeah. He was the one that set me up with the poker game, you know, Vacaville before I left. Got game, you know, because he left before I did.
Right.
You know, and yeah, I seen him there, and that was sad, you know, because I went and said goodbye to him when he was going to Vacaville, going to the hospital.
His liver went out on him, I think.
He had cancer, stomach cancer.
All right. Yeah.
Stomach cancer, and wasn't going to make it, so he went on his own terms.
Right.
You know? I think he might have just OD'd himself, you know.
Yeah, I heard when he went to Vacaville, they told him, we're going to give you a blood transfusion, and he told him, fuck your transfusion, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You know, he was a hard old man. He was a Korean War vet, you know, and he was he was quite a guy, you know. He was in there for 5 murders, come off death row, and you know, and his wife actually got a job working for CDC. He was hustling, trying to get out, but yeah, and what guys don't understand was Bob was probably the mellowest guy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at this dude, and he had some funny old glasses, and he dressed like, you know, he dressed funny, man. He was just old school. He dressed like Joe Citizen, you know.
Yeah.
But he was a killer, man. He would kill you, you know.
Well, that's what he did.
Nothing about it.
He was a hired killer, you know.
Yeah, he was a hired killer, but he was just a nice guy, you know.
Yeah.
It's
well, most of the black guys are more dangerous than the mouse, you know. The guys with the mouth, you know, those are the guys you got to worry about. The ones that ain't got nothing to say, you know.
Yeah.
They internalize it, you know.
Yeah.
So I got thrown back out of there. Yeah. Went to Tracy, and now everything's going good at Tracy. And they had them automatic doors. Remember, they put them automatic doors in there.
Yeah, to put the air doors in.
Air doors in, and if you take the air pressure off the door when it's open, you don't hear it, and it's got like a flange on the door when the door's open. a flange, so when the door closes, you can't pass nothing through it.
Right.
With the door open, I'm standing in line to shower on the second tier, talking to my buddy, and I got my hand on the door like this, and the cop sees me. He's at the station, and he hits the door, right?
Right.
But it doesn't make no noise. It just lunges.
Right.
Chop the tip of my finger off.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah, right there, a little, it's just a
Wow.
little nub. So, not my fault, but they got to go ahead and try to cover their ass, because
Right.
this guy is just dead, maimed me. I gotta go to Stockton. I gotta go get my, finger sewed up and all that shit.
Yeah, because they don't understand that people, they put these doors in there that function on air pressure, and the air pressure builds up, and then when the door shuts, it just slams like bam. They just slam.
Oh yeah,
fast.
they were chopping people up. Yeah, and
Right. A lot of guys lost their fingers.
Right, and I think since then they turned the pressure way down.
Yeah.
But as a result of that, I'm looking to file a claim, right? Well, that program administrator gets wind of it. I'm talking on the phone to my mother, who,
Right.
Who now has been deceased since '97.
Right.
And now I'm an asshole, and you got to go. So they shipped me out of there, and that's when I went to San Quentin.
So let me ask you, you were in Tracy in 78, 79, around there, right?
Pardon me?
You were in Tracy like 78, 79.
Right. I was there till 83.
Yeah, and
I
then
came
you went
back.
So when you went back, was there a marked difference in the two?
Oh yeah, because everyone there's still some racial tension and stuff going on, but everyone now is living like everyone's kind of a little older. You know what I mean? We're not 18 no more, and everyone is wanting to function, wanting to go to PIA, make some money, bet on football on the weekends, go play baseball in the yard. Have a soda and a pop, or
Go to the swimming pool.
Go to the swimming pool. So
yeah,
it was more, it was bitter,
Yeah.
And
they had bicycle races on the yard. They had slip and slide for sodas, and they had the hog pit, the 300-pound bench thing, and all that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, I had my little hog cars.
Yeah, barbecue on the yard on the holidays.
Yeah.
So you think having them different events and privileges kind of mellowed the place out, or what do you think?
Well, I think all of that, you know what I mean, just makes you feel a little more human, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just to have that, you know what I mean, on the 4th of July, you know what I mean? Because, most of us are all patriotic and all that stuff. And to go have a little barbecue dinner on the yard, with the watermelon and all that shit.
Yeah.
Was really good,
Yeah.
And I learned there, you know what I mean? I didn't have to be a tough guy. I didn't have to be all that, you know what I mean? Because that ain't who I was, never ever was anyway.
You didn't have to put on that front, right?
You didn't have to fake it, you know what I mean? Granted, I held my own, you know what I mean?
Now that doesn't mean that if somebody was a threat to you or somebody was fucking with you, that you wouldn't deal with it.
Right, you'd have to deal with it, you know.
That just meant that you didn't have to walk around with your chest puffed out like you're some badass dude.
Yeah, I didn't need to, you know what I mean. Everyone, I had respect from everybody, and I gave it, you know what I mean. If you had to come, and I gave it to you, also, you know what I mean.
Right.
And so as long as you didn't come trying to disrupt me, you know what I mean, I didn't have no problem with you, And that's how it should be. It's not always like that, People feel like they need to go a different path. Right. I never went that path, and I'm just glad I didn't,
Right.
So and that's something I don't even want to talk about, because it wasn't my path, And
so where'd you go from Tracy that time?
I went to San Quentin again.
All right.
Then went back to San Quentin. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I left again from San Quentin because now they want me to go ahead and I go back to board, and they said, man, you're like this, you're that close, you know?
Yeah.
I'm wondering what's that mean? I'm that close, you know?
Yeah.
They said, we want you to, that's what they said too. We want you to go to San Quentin, take another Cat X.
Right.
At that point, the Cat X program was running at CMC and San Quentin.
Right. They shut it down in Vacaville.
Right. And so now the Cat X, I get to San Quentin, and they're shutting it down there. You know what I mean? They don't have enough participants. They don't want to do it.
Well,
right?
that's when they started saying, you know, fuck you guys ain't never getting out, so fuck you.
Right.
Quentin.
San Quentin, now they want me to go for the Cat X. I get there. They don't have the Cat X there. And they want me to go to CMC again. San Quentin does. And I'm telling them now it's board ordered that I do it here. They said, no, we're done. So I go to San Quentin, CMC, excuse me, Cat X again, you know, not a place I really want to be. You know, I go through this whole thing again. It's a 90-day program. I'm there 91 days. They got me out of there in 91 days. You know, I ran into some problems there. You know, people thought I was somebody I wasn't. You know what I mean? They mistaken me for somebody else. You know, now I'm in the captain's office. You know, and they want to know, you know, what are you doing here? We don't like your kind. I said, my kind? What are you talking about, my kind? You know? So, but, you know, I was fortunate. I kept my nose clean, just played some ball, and I get a good report. I get an excellent report saying it was a one-time crime and that I was a good candidate for release.
Right.
So I got this report, right? I got this report. I figured this is it now. This is it, right? So they sent me back to San Quentin. You know, I'm going to board in 6 months. I'm getting out, man.
Yeah.
I go in there, and they said, man, this ain't shit. 4 years they deny me. They denied me 4 years. Yeah, just slap me with 4, right? And so you know what? I went back to the yard, got me some dope, started getting high again.
Yeah.
You know, I just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And that 4 years, because their calendar was so full, turned into 5 years before I got back to the board.
Right.
Well, time I get back there, I've gotten in a little trouble, you know, given a dirty test, and they said, man, 4 more. Gave me another 4 years. Turned into 5, so it turns into 5 years again. So from like, I don't know, 96 to 2006, I've seen the board twice.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I just, you know, that was my mentality. I'm never getting out of here.
Right.
I'm never getting out. I'm never getting
Well,
out.
that's the mentality that a lot of us developed was, hey, you know, fuck, we're never getting out.
Yeah.
Might as well just have a good time and be comfortable.
Right. Live good, and you know, and but the thing is, what people don't realize in there, and what I'm grateful out here is that I did that time, and that I learned how to live, you know, respectfully,
Yeah.
you know, amongst people, you know what I mean? Regardless of what you do, you know, I mean, you can do what you do as long as you are respectful, you know what I mean? And follow the rules. And that's the same thing out here.
Right.
You can do what you want to do. You got to follow the rules. There's some
Right.
rules, man, you know? And, so that's why, you know, today, man, I don't do drugs. Well, no, I take that back. I don't want to lie to nobody. I still smoke a little weed, but it's legal. It's legal in Washington. You know, if I'm at home, I'll have a drink. But, you know, I'm not looking to go do crank, do heroin, and, you know, get all strung out. And I'm just, you know, glad to be out here, you know.
Yeah, it's more to life than just partying like that, you know?
Yeah.
And in the end, that's not really a party anyway. That's just fucking misery.
Yeah. So we did, you know, I did all that. I was there for shit, almost 18 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like there's rules in prison too, but I mean, you got the rules of the prison, and then you got the rules of the guys that live in the prison.
Yeah.
Don't rat, don't do this, don't do that, right?
Right.
But
Well, that, and that goes without saying, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm in there trying to get out, trying to survive, and my whole thing was, you ride your own beef. You know what? You go down, you go down. You know what I mean? You ain't got to tell on nobody. You're going to play the game. You're in the game. You're trying to, do what you do. That's on you. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I follow those rules. I didn't follow all the prison rules. I mean, the institution rules,
right.
because I was trying to, make my life comfortable,
Right.
and if that meant smuggling some tobacco or, a
Right.
cell phone,
Run
I
a
did it.
football ticket.
Run a football ticket.
You were Mr. Football Ticket, man, the whole time I known you. I mean, for 30 years, you're Mr. Football Ticket.
And that was the thing that guys tried to run football tickets, but everyone wanted to play me because most of them guys don't last on the yard,
Yeah. Yeah.
I always paid mine. If you won, I came with a smile and gave you your money. You know what I mean?
I remember Bert ran a ticket and Tracy, man, and I think me, Booger, Glenn, and you all hit him all at one time. We all won. And he ended up having to mail people money because he just
yeah.
So many guys hit him,
That's and that happened to me at CMC, right? The guy that ran the little ice cream shack on the yard ran a football ticket.
Right.
Well, I went down there. I've been running tickets for 25 years, bro. He puts out a ticket, and I put a lot of money down on a ticket, and I nailed them before 1 o'clock. I won. But I go to collect the money, and this guy, his partner's already in the captain's office, and this guy's going up. Well, no, he's locking up because he can't pay.
Okay. Yeah.
So he went, said, I need protection.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm done with this place. It was crazy,
Hey, so like in San Quentin, had become when I was there, when I first went there was level 4, and then later on when they built all the new prisons, they made San Quentin a level 2, which is a low level prison, and for a lifer, that's as low as you could go at the time because we were never getting out, and that was a secure level 2.
Well, that's what they did.
Yeah, now 20 years later, whatever, you're there, and all these guys are there that are lifers. North Block had 840 guys, and 800 of them are lifers,
Right.
So how did you react to, how did it affect, your thoughts on, here's all these dudes that were all, hardcore fucking drug fiend, tough guy motherfuckers, now they're all in this level 2. Because, I mean, when I finally got there in 2006 as level 2, I mean, man, it was terrible. All these guys turned into something, man, that, I mean, granted, you change your life and you're a different kind of guy, you're kind of a little kick, but I mean, these guys were just telling on you, jealousy, envy, just, right? I mean.
Well, that went on because everyone, the way I see it, you know what I mean? And trying to understand it, because, like I said, we both spent the same amount of time in there, almost 40 years.
Right.
And some people were still trying to find a way out, you know what I mean? And that's why they're doing this telling. They're doing this telling and stuff,
Yeah, they're trying to snitch their way out of prison.
Right. And the thing was, we were still all stuck, but
not only that, to me, it's like, I got in trouble there for selling tobacco, right?
Yeah.
And guys were telling on me, man, because I wouldn't give them a fucking cigarette.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just ridiculous, man.
Well, it's probably, they say heroin is the worst, but I think in a closed environment where you go ahead and just take the tobacco away, and now you can't no longer smoke, but people are still getting tobacco in. People really, it really eats at people when they can't get a cigarette and they can smell it, you know?
And you got a pile of tobacco, you know, and you're like, I used to tell them guys, look, man, I smuggle this tobacco in here so I can make money, not to buy your fucking friendship.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I gave tobacco to people I like, but, you know, I mean, it's like, dude, this shit ain't free.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, it's just,
but that was just another commodity that they learned to control us. They used to control us, you know what I mean? Taking it away, taking the tobacco away, you know, just like they took the weights away.
This is a clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they use stuff like that to control the population, and then they allow a certain amount of it to come in. Back in the day, it was drugs. They know how to stop the drugs. They let it flow. And then a lot of guys, you know, that were just right up Front Street, that they're balling with dope, they would bust them on the QT and then get them to flip.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know, you're a lifer. I seen it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're lifer, you know, you're going to have this drug charge. You're going to go to board. They're going to deny you 5 years or whatever. And them dudes would flip.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy. I just kind of tried to be the same guy all the way through my term. Even when time was easy, I was still me, you know. I just, when time was hard, I was just me, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me for quite a long time, and since like '84. And,
but you changed. You did change.
Yeah, but I'm still pretty much the same guy.
Right. Well, your beliefs are still the same. You've always conducted yourself the same way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And your beliefs, you know. But you softened up a little bit because you had to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still hung on to the idea you wanted to get out. You know.
Yeah.
And that you know you couldn't run around and sock everyone in the face.
Yeah.
You know. And you didn't like to. You didn't like to sock a lot of people. You know what I mean? And me too. You know.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know.
Well, we're older now. So, did you parole from San Quentin, or last time I saw you were in Tracy again?
That's where I paroled from, Tracy.
Right,
so
because I went back to Tracy as a level 2, and you were there.
Yeah.
And I got bounced out of there because I had valley fever, but you stayed there.
Yeah. I was there. I was medical, remember? I needed my hips replaced.
Right.
You know? And but what got me back there, so 2009, I go to the board, I get denied again.
Right.
And a good friend of mine that I hadn't really been close with in a few years, you know, Brian Smith, maybe shouldn't say his name, you know, but I did. Put him on blast. You know, he comes up to me and goes, hey, bro, you know, if you need to go ahead and file in court, man, you know. Right. I'm like, come on, I ain't gonna do nothing. But you know, and he finally talks me into it. I file against him, against the board, and I have a guy help me write a writ, and it's accepted. You know, they find cause. Right. So that means that they're going to hear my case. Now San Quentin don't want me there. They ship me to Tracy, back to Tracy, and this is in 2000. I get there in 2010. You know, and I win my appeal, and that basically the court says you got to give the guy a date. You know, you know, and they gave me a date. Well, the governor took it, so now I got to go back to board. Right. And I get another date, right? And in the meantime, they appeal my appeal. I'm appealing the taking of the date, right? I get ordered back to board. I'm sitting there with 2 dates, actually 2 dates, you know, and it's like weird. I've never even been in this, you know. No one, even the legal guys ain't even heard of this.
Right.
So the governor comes up for review on the first date, and he thinking he's cool. He takes both dates, right?
Oh, wow.
He took them both, but the appellate court is the one that granted the date, you know. And so I knew then I was cool because we file again, and you know, the appellate court says, you know what, you're not the appellate court. You should have appealed rather. And we, you know, they said granted forthwith, you know, let them out within 10 days.
Yeah.
And that's how I got out. And, you know, had that not happened, had I not come from a county that was kind of, a lot of people got out from Santa Clara through the courts,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And had I not been from that county, had I been from like Orange County or somewhere like that, I
San
might still be
Diego.
stuck in prison. Yeah, San Diego, I might still be stuck in prison, you know. So
Yeah.
I was fortunate that way, you know.
Yeah.
And since then, you know, like it took 4 years. You know, I didn't get out till 2014,
Right.
you know. And I've been off parole since May of 17, you know, and
Right.
just living now. But the thing is, you know, look at us. You know, I sent you some pictures. You know, we were young kids, man. We
Yeah.
were young kids when we went to prison. You
Yeah,
may
we're
not even,
teenagers.
yeah, you may not even recognize me in them pictures, huh? Those were some young pictures there, but you said you sent me some old ones. I did, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we were kids. It took most of our, you know, adult life, but I mean, we're free now.
right? And, you know, and what I want to make clear is I'm not trying to glamorize it because it was ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to think that, you know, prison life is nice, but people go to prison and they got to find their way. You know what I mean? They
Right.
got to find their way through. Some do things that, you know what, you know, that I wouldn't do. You know, I try not to do. You know, people try to coax me in doing shit, and I wasn't going for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Right.
did me. You know, and I know everyone may not be built like that. You know, and they get sucked in. They get
Right.
sucked into shit, and you know, me and you know guys. You know, I'm not going to mention their names. They're stuck because they
Yeah.
made bad choices when they were young. You know, and in prison and did stuff for people that wouldn't do it for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because that's another thing. People want to use people like puppets. You know, it's
Yeah.
easy. You know, and especially if I got a bunch of them. You know, if I got a bunch of them all around my side, you know, I can go ahead and use them up. You know,
Right.
and the best way is stay out of prison. You know.
Well, we know guys that went into prison with life sentences as teenagers, and they did things in there that have kept them in prison. They're still in there now.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, some of them killed guys while they were in prison, and they might have gotten away with it, but they it's still in their file.
Yeah.
And when they go to board, the board knows, hey, this guy came in with a murder. He did more murders in prison, and even though they didn't get a book for it, they know,
Yeah.
and they're not going to let him out. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But,
you know, and I've said this before, you know, you go to prison, man, as a kid, there's guys that have been in there for years. They'll out-politic you. They'll outwork you. Yeah, well, Rhino, I want to thank you for doing this interview with me.
yeah. You know what? I gladly talk to you again, man. You know, and we go into some other stuff. You know, maybe help somebody out. You know. All right. Hey.
Yeah, it's my guard dog. Hey, you know, I wish you best luck, brother.
All right. I'll talk to you.